posted. Keep me posted. Whatever you're called. Twitch. What do you call yourself? Streamlabs? Twitch will add 10% to every cheer over 300 bits. Well, that's nice. All right, so I've got that going. I think I've got YouTube going as well. Let me just have a looky-see here. YouTube. Let's look at our YouTubes. I say, I'm looking at your YouTubes. I'm going to view my channel, which should be live. It is. Look at that. Isn't this marvelous? I'm going to pop out the chat, pop it out. And here we go. Okay, so I can get rid of that too. All right then. We're all live and rocking and rolling here. Rebel Time Lady, right straight to the party. Hello, Rebel Time Lady. Hello, Laura. Hello, Janelle Craner and Matt, Shelly Bell, and Hexaverse, and External Noob, and Tombstone Vulture Command. Wow, Tombstone Vulture Command, that's a good name. Good day from Nottingham. Woohoo! Layer Cake, Stephen Cameron, Alex, hi, and the Rion Pyros. How are you? Got myself a big cup of tea. I've done my exercise. I'm freaking worn out. I'm absolutely freaking worn out. How's the audio, just to check? Aw, Mandy, thank you so much for subscribing. God Day from Michigan. I'm guessing it's Good Day, but I'll take God Day. I like that. Quite like. I never mind being called God. What do we got? Meffy Miller from Saskatchewan. Ah, oh, lovely Saskatchewan. I gotta say, I've spent some time in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, all the prairies over the years, shooting things here and there. It's taken me months with AI, but I've finally replaced all of McKay's lines in Atlantis with clips from your channel. What? I think it flows better, especially the scenes with Aquaman. No way. Oh, that is cool. Okay, I've got a horror story to tell you. First of all, just before I do a little cup of tea ASMR. So first off, this is my burn and learn. So this is my bid to stay alive and fit long enough to enjoy my golden years with my brilliant, beautiful wife, Jane, my fabulous son, Sebastian, and my wretched mutt of a princess that bouncing around outside right now, digging holes and generally causing mayhem. I hate exercise. I had a whole discussion about this with someone today. Who was I talking to about this? How much I hate exercise. No, it was last night. How much I hated exercise. Wonderful guy, Phil, who does olive oil. I've had him on before, actually. I dragged him onto a stream once because of his amazing olive oil stuff. He's got this thing called Abandoned Grove. He goes around Italy finding these old overgrown groves and helps people to revitalize them and bring them back and create real olive oil. Like olive oil is this crazy, corrupt business where people water the stuff down, and it's like in the same way there's like a maple syrup mafia. There's like this whole olive oil mafia thing apparently. Anyway, so his olive oil he puts out every year, like, hand pressed stuff, and of course the prices have gone through the roof. But we get like a case of this stuff every year, and Jane will give it out as gifts to friends, and I will drink gallons of it because I just freaking love it. It's so, like, really good olive oil is a whole different world. Anyways, so I was complaining to Phil yesterday about exercise and how much I hated it. So I just like to learn something while I'm doing it. So what I've been doing is I've been listening to this kind of wonderful book. I've really warmed up to it now. It started off as a little too many sort of, I guess, just a lot of names and dates being thrown at me, and I was getting a bit confused because it's a lot for my little ADD brain, especially when it's being tortured on the elliptical device. I'm now very, very much enjoying it. I've sort of got into the rhythm of it, and this is the history of horror, and it's really fun. I mean, we've sort of moved into a realm now that I remember. So we're talking about these sort of not early 70s. We're moving into the later 70s and just different areas of the world and what kind of films are coming up. They're talking about Cronenberg now, which of course I grew up with as a Canadian, and all of the tax dodges that were the films that launched their careers, which I'm sort of sad that we don't still have them, because I think that would be there was a huge boom in some terrible films, admittedly, but there's also some new filmmakers created by these sort of tax haven films. And it's just fascinating to hear, I'm hearing names that I think of for different, like, Rennie Harlan shows up on a couple of these horror films that I didn't know he was involved in. And then, of course, there's my old friend, who did Deliverance. Oh dear God, come on. Oh my God, I am completely lost. I am turning into an old man. It's John Borman. Good God, like, what is happening to me? That's going to be a whole other, come on. What happened to my memory? I got to start doing like, TikToks about that now. Yeah, John Borman, who, I don't know why I blanked on his name. Wonderful, wonderful man who gave me a shot early on in my career. Cast me as Uma Thurman and Susie Amos's brother, and just an amazing guy. Just his involvement in the Exorcist film, I guess number 3 or number 2, I can't remember. But just there's just really cool little histories about these films and where they came from. And I'm not a huge fan, it turns out, of the 70s slasher stuff. Like the slasher stuff really took off in the 70s. Sort of, I guess it was happening in the 80s as well, but I've never been a fan of that stuff. So that history doesn't excite me as much. Although it's just kind of neat to hear about who's making them and what people were shocked by and what they weren't and stuff. So I am really turning it. I'm not even turning into an old man, Hexaverse. I have become an old man. I've become everything. To be fair, I was born to be old. Like, I've kind of been old and crotchety all my life. But the forgetful stuff, I'm already distracted enough as it is. I will say this, though. You try having a conversation after you have learned and spouted out 5 solid pages of technobabble, basically monologue. I just auditioned for this thing, which, of course, I won't tell you anything about because I'll get in lots of trouble because, oh, my gosh, it's so important. They're so secretive about this stuff. Eventually, they caved on this, but they weren't going to give us the script. They weren't going to give us any information about these 5 pages of scenes that we had. As a result, it's science fiction. Like, you literally don't know what you're talking about because they've made up all these terms, and I don't even know who I'm talking to. Anyway, so eventually they sort of reneged and or relented and gave us the script to look at, so it made a little bit more sense. But there is just, God, they're just, I guess on the interwebs, there is just this tendency to just put stuff out there. You just put it out there, and if people want to know it, they find out. If they don't want to know it, they don't, and that's the end of it. Spoilers and all that kind of stuff. I think there's this sort of like this weird old-fashioned terror from the film community that the script is going to get posted online and that's going to be it. No one's going to go see the movie. And I'm like, that's just not true. I'm not that I'm going to post anyone's script or anything, but I just feel like there's this, they're so sort of up their own bottoms about how important their work is that they don't want it to get out there. And I don't know, it just seems weird to me. Anyways, what does Tombstone Vulture Command have to say? Rebel Time Lady, Dan Winter is worth checking out regarding your epilepsy. Really? Okay. Always reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Thank you, Sam Remus. Very good. Brenus, sorry. Eric, what do you got? If you're old, I must be a fossil. Yeah, good. See, the great thing about being old is there's always someone who's older. It really is shocking. My memory is just getting terrible. I'm convinced it's COVID related. So the audition went well, and you got the part. I'd love that to happen, Mandy. But here's the problem. So I've had 2 auditions in the last couple of days, which is not normal for me. Normally, first off, I managed to get out of them somehow by not auditioning. But this time, I just felt like there's been a strike going on for a long time. I got to get some work. So Jane's gonna kick me out to work either way. So I thought I'd better do some work on it. And I actually really enjoyed it. There are 2 parts that are really fun. I don't think I'm actually right for them, but I just thought they're both things that I think it would be good for people to be reminded that I'm alive. Which is basically where I'm at this point. Just don't tell them I can't remember any of the lines, but, Always wondered how actors manage income. There must be years without any good income. Do you have a second job? It's a good question, Fezzi. No, I've been very, very fortunate, very lucky. First off, I married Jane, who's been very good with our money and has invested it in houses and things. So our cost of living is still kind of crazy high because we live in Toronto, but our cost of living is manageable. So I have not had to get another job. I used to very easily cover all of the Tech Bandit stuff, and that's changed for sure since COVID and strikes and stuff. I've needed to, do the Patreon and do a little begging here and there, just because I'd like to be able to do things like buy lock sets and things for the Tech Bandits live stuff to play with, and also just stuff for my own. Again, a lot of this stuff is for my own amusement. I feel like I get excited about it, and then it makes it much more easy for me to then sell it to the kids as well as something worth getting into. So I've definitely had to ask asked for donations for that stuff because when I've got money coming in, I'm happy to spend it on the Tech Bandit stuff. So but I sort of feel like and then when I don't have that money, I don't feel as guilty because I always feel guilty asking anyways. But that, that's the idea behind that. That's why I sell some of the merch and stuff like that. It's just kind of fun to have a little bit of money coming in to make sure that my wife doesn't point out that I'm spending too much on these things. Anyways, I've been using a randomizer for Who episodes, and I landed on The Mutants yesterday. Not the best serial, but I haven't watched any Pertwee in a while. The Mutants, was that the one about the planet where they're like ant-like creatures, where they're humans that turn into the ant-like creatures, and it turns out it's like a metamorphosis type thing? Is that did I just give you a spoiler? Oh my god, I just Janed that. Jane's the worst for spoilers. Oh my, someone got the reference. That is so great. What is the reference, Rebel? What do you got? I've always had memory problems, but I'm epileptic. Always your first it's very good. We got Rebel Time Lady. Then what else we got? I still would have watched Men in Black 23 after the Sony hack. Yeah, this is it. I feel like there is this ridiculous attempt at secrecy, which I don't know what it is. There'll be some monetary reason behind it. You know what? Probably because if it is discovered that these scripts are out there, maybe they won't get as much money from the distributors or the presenters or whatever, or the theaters where this stuff is playing. Maybe there's financial reasons for this. And I've got to say, by the way, I cannot talk for long. Don't let me talk for too long, because I have to go and edit together my audition and send it off by the end of the day. So I've got to do that. I must be having sound issues. Is it just me? Is it just you? Is it just Nick Pa who's having sound issues, or is it me as well? Scarface BA, thank you very much for your subscription. I've got to say, thank you very much, as always. I can't believe anyone wants to see a sweaty, steamingly sweaty old man that is me after my exercise, but it really does give me an impetus to get this stuff done. I was boasting to my friend last night about how I've tricked myself into doing these Burn&Learns, and that's, oh wow, hype train, thank you very much. And that's what's sort of got me exercising on a regular basis, because every single day that comes up that I think I should be exercising, I try to talk myself out of it, and invariably I come back to this and go, well, yeah, but if I skip it, everyone's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know. Shame. Wonderful motivator. I've also just had a peanut butter sandwich, so I'll try not to get bits of peanut butter on everyone. Merry early Christmas. Thank you very, very much. Kali is Akiba Wolf. Bah and humbugs, I say to you. Man, I need to go to the gym. Oh, Captain Catherine, I don't know. Gyms, I can't do gyms. I can't exercise with people. I don't even like people watching me eat, really. Well, I say that. I don't mind doing it on camera. I just don't like being with people when I'm eating as much. I'll take some peanut butter. Oh, my God, it's the best, James. This is the stuff where you just put the peanuts in the machine at the store, at the bulk barn, and now it comes to peanut butter, eh? It's just peanut butter. Just peanuts goes in, peanut butter comes out. It's freaking good, eh? Do you audition remotely? Yes. I don't go in person anymore. No. What's funny is even when people were going in before, I'd sort of stopped going in because I just don't see the point. You got a camera. You could do it properly at home. Send them a tape, which is not a tape. Send them a recording. They call it taping because we're all old. And you could send this stuff off, and it's just better. It's a better experience for the people who are looking at the tape, who are looking at the auditions, because you've got a chance to do it right. Why would you go into a room, you can hear everyone talking. Like literally, you used to sit in a hallway listening to everyone who went before you. You could hear every freaking word in most of the auditions. It was hell. Like it was just hell. The worst one, I remember sitting in a little tiny office. They got mad at us because we were in the hallways. They're like, oh, you can't be in the hallway waiting. And I was like, well, you're an hour behind. What do you want us to do type thing? So we end up all cramped in this little office. And the woman, the poor receptionist, was calling actors and offering them the roles that we were auditioning for. There was like 20 people, 20 of us guys stuck in a room. Oh, wow. Hype train. Wow. Very good. Thank you very much. There's this, like 20 of us actors all going in for the same role, crammed in a room, and she is literally calling up and offering name stars the role and asking about their availability. We're waiting to go in to read for the role. That was one, actually, I left that one. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. This is obviously a waste of time. I've got old and crotchety, and it's so I much prefer doing them at home. I'm almost at a point where I enjoy the auditions now because I get to set up the camera and I get to, what am I going to do, and learn the lines. And most actors I've heard, or a lot of actors, don't learn the lines. They read them off the sides because obviously they have a lot to do, and not getting paid for anything. I actually enjoy. It's almost, I guess, because I'm losing my memory. Obviously, I think it's good mental exercise for me to learn. So I learned 5 pages of this stuff that was pretty dense. They had terminology for these different parts of the universe, and they're not even consistent really. They were called one thing one time and something else another, and I just, for some reason, the idea of forcing myself to get near word perfect is kind of a weird little mental, it's like it's going to the mental gym for me. So I kind of like that. I did not get to keep the designer suit that I wore in Suits. Oh my God, I wish. That suit's worth more than I was. That suit probably got paid more than I did, actually, on that. I did enjoy that, though. It's fun working with Gabriel. He's a nerd. He was all into VR, I think, at the time. Was it VR? I think it was VR he was all into at the time. So we had some fun chats about that. Okay, I got to share you my horror. I got to share you. There you go. I've also lost the power. Speaking's hard. I got to share with you this horror before I run off. This is, so a friend of ours, their grandparents get a call. And it sounds like this kid's voice begging them for money. There's been an emergency. He's pleading with them, his grandparents, to give him money. The only thing was, it wasn't his voice. It was an AI clone of his voice trying to trick his grandparents into trying to scam money out of his grandparents. I don't know why this is so hit home to me, but I was like, this is an aspect of AI that I had I batted it around. Like there'd been, I knew it could clone voices. I knew that there were these scams where people pretended to be other people and call and ask for, but it never hit home until now that this is literally happening. If it's happened to me already, it must be happening at a scale that is incomprehensible at this point. And I started going like, wow, this is like a tidal wave. This is going to be like, so we're now going to have to create an AI that analyzes our communications to make sure that we're not being scammed, or give us a likelihood that whatever is being sent to us is a scam or not. The idea that, I don't answer the phone anymore because what's the frickin' point? It's someone trying to sell me something or trying to scam me. That is the only time I get called. I guess maybe my parents might call or whatever, but even then, it's usually I'll call them back when I get the message or whatever. I just don't answer the phone. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. I don't even like the phone, never liked the phone. Texting is much easier. Text. So today I get a text from someone, I won't mention who, inviting me to join their Snapchat group. And I'm like, well, that doesn't. So I called them up laughing about how I'd been asked to, this elderly relative of mine had asked me to join their Snapchat. And he's like, well, I did invite you. And I'm like, what? You're on Snapchat? So literally, I don't know what's real, what's not, what's true, what's real, I don't even know. And I'm also feeling like it really threw me off. It kind of freaked me out. And of course, I immediately thought of Lance Carr and launched onto TikTok to create one of my come on videos, my grumpy old science guy, which I really got to do more of because I really enjoy doing them, and Lance likes mocking me when I do so. Someone called today asking for someone who doesn't live here. Then they asked to speak to the homeowner. I said, I'm the homeowner, and I don't want to talk to you. Goodbye, and hung up. Oh, that's because, I have got to the point now, Diehog Titan, I've got to the point now where as soon as I sense it might be something that I don't want to talk or that I'm interested in, I just hang up the phone. I don't even bother anymore. Like, I feel awful. I'm getting to that point with the door. Like, I will go to the door, and it's like someone who wants to sell me something. I don't, like, whether it's someone trying to sell me something or it's a charity mugging, as we call it. If someone's coming there and they want you to sign up for something, I'm like, look, I'm not going to give, I don't know who you are. You show up at my door, you have, like, some badge that may or not be legit. They probably are legit in many cases, but I don't want to, why would I risk it? The money we give, it goes to Médecins Sans Frontières, the Doctors Without Borders. That would love them. I give a little bit of money to, who is it? Sunnybrook. Do I mean Sunnybrook? No, Sick Kids. To Sick Kids, because they saved my life literally as a kid. I had I had like a pneumonia and an asthma attack, and I got rushed to hospital. And they literally saved me. They died on oxygen. The whole, like, they saved my life. I feel like it's probably worth giving a little bit of money back to the sick kids hospital. And but that's it. I'm not going to give money at the door. Well, I guess now I say that, I think we've bought Girl Guide cookies, but maybe I'll stop that too. It's just hard to be mean to little kids. That said, I manage. That said, there are also these whole van loads. I noticed that they've started doing this where they've got like kids, get a bunch of kids, a van load of kids that get driven up to our neighborhood. They scatter out of the van. They all try to get you to buy chocolate or whatever to help them through high school. And I feel really bad because obviously tech bandits. I mean, I want to help people learn stuff. I mean, that's kind of that's my whole thing, right? And but I'm not going to give it at the door because I just don't know. Like, are they being ripped off? Are they being told they can get a commission? Are they, it just doesn't. It all freaks me out. So there you go. I'm turning into. I am the keep off my lawn guy. Tall walls make great neighbors as far as I'm concerned. I created a character called Dr. Fissenbaum with a thick Yiddish accent for comedy delivery of physics lectures. Nice. To keep it light, to keep your physics lectures light, you go with a thick Yiddish accent. Very good. I could have gone that route with McKay, I guess, but I think it should have been Scottish, probably. That's right. It should have been Scottish. I don't know what Beckett was doing. Okay, sometimes the guides have the chocolate mint cookies, and they are delicious. No, my favorite were the ones when they used to have the ones that were like coconut and caramel with the chocolate drizzle. Oh my God, that was the best. All right, how am I doing for time? Okay, I think I gave myself like about half an hour, and then I got to go and do my edit. So I got like 9 more minutes. Let's see what's happening. Nightbot's freaking out because the API is deprecated, and oh boy, that's poor Cal's going to be freaking out about that one. Hi, Cal, if you're there. Hello, everyone. Everyone say hi to Cal if she's here. David, Stargate question. My personal favorite episode. How much fun was it to record Grace Under Pressure? Oh my God, Michael Hall. It was fantastic. I mean, we were shooting at the University of Vancouver. Was that right? University of Vancouver, University of BC. BCU, is it called BCU? UBC, maybe? I don't know. They had a wave tank, whatever it's called, like lab there, that they could create these waves of this giant sort of threshing looking machine. It's really cool. And they had one of those little, I don't know, there's like, I think of like as one of those James Bond underwater torpedo things where you can hang on and the electric motor will pull you around. So I did a bit of that. Poor Amanda, I don't know how she did it because the kid had just been born and she was breastfeeding. She had to keep leaping out of the puddle jumper to look after the kid. And so I had the best of time. But I'm also working with Amanda, which doesn't hurt. So yeah, a lot of fun. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. How do you feel that people ship John and Rodney? They ship. Oh yeah, whatever. It's fine with me. I mean, I was making out with Beckett. If that's. I mean, that's the fan fiction thing. I'd much rather people were talking about me than not. I don't care how they, honestly, not sure that I care how they do it. I mean, it might be a bit weird when they get into video versions, I guess. I suppose it could be kind of weird when people can do text to video and put me in all sorts of positions, I guess. But that might be weird. Actually, that's something, now great, I'll have nightmares about that. Thanks so much. But it doesn't bother me. Like I say, it's kind of flattering that people give a shit enough to want to do it. David, hooray, I got your stream, even though it's already 4 a.m. Amala, go to bed. 4 a.m. Sleeping is so important. I sleep all the time. I literally, if I wake up in the morning, I think, you know what? In 12 hours time, I can go back to sleep again. Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla and Charybdis. David Techie needs a techie. David Techie needs a techie? Still seems to be a problem with the Stargate. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with Stargate, it's true. It isn't working in that no one's making any. Did you try indie games out? My issue right now is this vertigo, which is, I've got this like tiny little bit of vertigo. Oh my God, I'm such a hypochondriac. I've got a lot of hypochondria and a little bit of vertigo, and it's just making gaming very difficult. It's even making the new Bond reality show where they put them on it's even making it impossible for me to watch that. I get sick because they're shaking the damn camera too much. You're shaking the damn camera. That nightmare line earned the like from me. What? That nightmare line earned the like from me. What was that? The nightmare line. What was the nightmare line? All right, I haven't seen a horror game use that yet, and they really should. Could be an interesting use of AI tech. What's Mal said that sounds interesting? What do we got? Some of you said, like in the Hannibal pilot episode. Oh my God, I loved Hannibal. I loved that show. I mean, the first season specifically, but I thought it was brilliant. I guess I failed the sus test. What's wrong, Moto? You failed the sus test? I'm not allowed to use the term sus. My son laughs at me when I do that. Okay, what do we got? What else we got going on there? Hey, just wondering if you kept anything from the set. They did take you something home after all your time on the show. Yeah, I got I got like a wall sconce. I got like kind of a fun wall sconce. And the big things I collected, honestly, were sort of merch stuff, like fun little merch stuff. Like I have the original DVD that they released. It was never released, actually. What am I saying? It was a press DVD that was put out, and it was this really cool plastic box with a gel in it in front of the Atlantis city, so it had a cool kind of watery look. And I kept that and a bunch of little bracelets and things and pens and stuff. The set themselves, they were really. I mean, I sort of joke about it, but they were like packing up the set and auctioning it off while we were still shooting. The back of my chair disappeared. Like, Jason was the master at this stuff. Jason has probably half of Atlantis at home. He just kept walking home with stuff. He'd walk off set carrying things. I was far too cowardly for that. I don't just play a coward on television. I'm also a full-on coward in my life as well. So I didn't take advantage of that as much. Robert Picardo was brilliant. He had us all sign a bunch of photos, like the last week of shooting. He just gave us all a stack of full group shots and had us sign all of them. He orchestrated that, and he just said, "Look, that is when your kids need to go to college and you're a little low on cash. You have this stack of stuff." Of course, like an idiot, I've been giving them away. But yes, it would be good to have a few of those to sell, I guess, in 100 years when it's actually worth something. I should have a ZPM. I gotta say, it is kind of shocking that I've had to 3D print my own ZPMs. I mean, that is a bit shocking. I should have got a ZPM. I'm hoping that amazing prop company that makes the ZPMs will get me one. They've threatened it. I've said that I said that, I'd whore myself out by, posing with it if they send me one. So, I would do that. You hate typing on the phone? I much prefer typing on the phone than talking. Ugh, talking. Although, listen to me babbling on like this, no tomorrow. What have we got? Apollo 11 astronauts did this just in case they didn't come back. What did they do? Who's going to stop Jason Momoa? It's a good point. Who is going to stop Jason Momoa? I just saw, I think Hacksmith is doing something with Aquaman right now, which is kind of fun. Love Picardo as the Doctor. Isn't he great? He's the best. He's the best. Makes amazing pizza, too. He's just a culinary genius. I hate shaky cam on shows. Whoever came up with that concept needs to be whipped with 1,000 wet noodles. I'm with you, Mr. Clean Tracy. Hello, Mr. Clean Tracy, by the way. And Captain Catherine, if I didn't say hi. And Die-Hawk Titan and everyone else. Jasper, Boba, Mario. Who's going to stop Jason? Yeah, nobody knows. No one is. Your episode where you got stuck underwater in the puddle jumper, that's the one we were just talking about that. ZPM, he's Canadian, damn right. Made myself a little epoxy resin Stargate the other day. Oh, nice, Mandy. How big? I want a real one. Like, I want a really big one. I want it to light up. I would like it. I even wondered about setting it up where it could have like a charging system you could put it in. This would be really fun. I feel awful. There was a guy, Stargate fan, who passed away, and trying to come up with a good thing to do for him. And for a long time there, I was hounding people about creating a ZPM that they wanted something cool to put his ashes in, or the portion of his ashes in. And I thought a ZPM would be the way to go. His wife was not a Stargate fan, so didn't know much about it, was asking. And I pursued that for a while. It went, the pandemics hit and years went by, and I'm afraid it never happened. But I really, really wanted to get her sorted out with that, because I just thought he would get such a kick out of it, this guy. I only talked to him sort of later in life. I don't think we ever actually talked. I think it was just texting, because he was so sick at that point. But he was just always nice to be able to do. How often do you get to do that? Like, to actually make a difference in people's lives. And I just kind of love that. Anyways, I prefer any episode that includes your sister. Yes, William Morenz, then you are no friend of mine. I wish there was a Lego set for this. Oh, no. Are you kidding me? Why the F is there not a Lego Atlantis? Why are there not Lego figures of Atlantis? Why are there not pop figures of Stargate? I don't understand. MGM, now that Amazon's got you, maybe could you get some good merch? Our merch sucks. Stargate merch is the worst merch that exists. Firefly has such cool stuff, and And of course, Star Wars has frickin' everything. It drives me nuts. I want good. I mean, there's a couple of good figures there. You know, the McKay figures, I guess. But yeah, there should be so much more stuff out there. It's drop the ball or what, MGM? I want to pop. Yeah, I want to pop Stargate too. Exactly. Although, if you do want that, check out Wexter on Patreon. He did a great Stargate McKay, as I would call it, with this wonderful sort of pill-shaped McKay and a Stargate. It's fantastic. You should go set that up. I've got it somewhere, probably out in the freezing cold garage where I do my exercise. Oh, by the way, exercise today. I did 40 minutes today. Who's bugging me about had I got up to a better level? Yeah, I used to do a lot more. Now I sort of dropped down to about 30 minutes. I'm now back up to 40 minutes. I haven't got the tension on so much. I'm still going backwards and then forwards to sort of have what I call the Jagger bottom, because apparently Mick Jagger does a lot of walking backwards to get a very sexy bottom, and that's the bottom I'm hoping for. Although old men with sexy bottoms is a bit creepy. Anyways, so yeah, I got up to 40 minutes today, which was kind of exciting for me. I felt like I'd actually achieved something. You can make custom Lego people who look like Atlantis folk. I know, but it's not the same, Mandy. It's much cooler if you have real ones. Then you feel like you've really made it. Do people give you oranges in public, David? Not so much oranges, but a lot of lemons. Would you like a new Stargate show to look like? What would you like a new Stargate show to look like? I would like it to look like Atlantis again. I would like it to be called Stargate McKay, or I guess Stargate Academy. We set it all at a Stargate Academy for young recruits, learning the ropes about the Stargate project. And I think we should be teachers. I think the old crew should be teachers. We could, maybe Sam Carter could be the principal, and I could be vice principal in the same way that Snape is a vice principal at Hogwarts. I would be like McKay would be like the unpleasant Snape-like vice principal, and make everyone's life misery. And of course, the kids are all smarter than he is, and that kind of stuff. I think it'd be fun. That'd be the way to go. Lemons, Hexiverse, Funko. You can order custom pops. Really? Well, that's interesting. Interesting. Stargate McKay for the win. Thank you, Michael Hall. Take these. You see, what is it? If I really was allergic to lemons, how would I feel with you all hurling lemons at me, trying to murder me online? You really want Todd as a teacher? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Todd teaching Wraith. You know, then you could have Wraith Academy. There you go. Okay, where are we at? Oh, 32. Okay, 32. I got to wrap up. I got to go do this audition thing. So this week has sucked because I've had freaking auditions all week. Poor Lance, and forget poor Lance. Poor me. I've not been able to hang out with Lance like I want to. I want to do a Damn Dirty Abes with him. That's a podcast we do together, usually on Mondays. I'll have to figure something else out. I haven't done my email of awesomeness. It's a freaking disaster. Maybe I could declare myself on holiday for Christmas or something, but no. I've got a really fun email of awesomeness that I have to write up. It's all about data visualization and stuff, and it's really fun. So I really want to do that. But as I say, these stupid auditions are just, these stupid earning a living is just such a nuisance, isn't it, everyone? All right. I'm going to say be brave, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah. And please, please go check out techbandits.org for me, would you? And sign up for the email of awesomeness. There's some merch stuff there. You know what's selling really well are the Stargate Post-it notes. I did some little McKay Post-it notes, which are kind of fun. And for some reason, people are digging the Post-it notes. So go have a look at those if you want. There's T-shirts, all sorts of stuff. So go check that out. And then of course there's my Stargate inspired collectible coin that you can also sign up for as well. All right. So see you later. I'm gonna go have a shower and get this freaking audition edited together. I'll 5 pages of technobabble.